Hello and welcome back to another We Ourselves video, and today I want to talk about the hot topic in the MCU universe, and that is Marvel veteran Black Panther producer Nate Moore is leaving the studio. Many of the news stories coming out on December 17th. I just wanted to focus in on the one from the Hollywood Reporter, but they're all basically the same. And so here we go. The headline, Marvel veteran Black Panther producer Nate Moore leaving studio. The longtime executive will transition to independent producing, but will be part of the Black Panther 3 producing team. And this is written by Aaron Koch and Boris Kitt. And again, this came out on December 17th. And I just want to read a little bit from this. Respected Marvel Studios development executive Nate Moore is leaving the studio to pursue independent producing. Moore will remain with Marvel through the release of February's Captain America: Brave New World, and will also produce the third Black Panther feature, Down the Road. And I think it's interesting that they say down the road. The executive joined the studio in 2010, so he was there for 14 years, and produced Black Panther, the Ryan Coogler-directed film that became a cultural and box office phenomenon, grossing more than $1.3 billion and earning a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars. And it ultimately won 3 statues at the Academy Awards and helped dispel tired Hollywood notions that movies starring Black casts do not perform overseas. And I gotta stop right there. I am so tired of the American media always putting the anti-Blackness, particularly when it comes to starring, Black characters being in the lead. They always want to put it overseas. And one of the big boogeymen that they always want to place it on is China. But it's like, there's a problem here in the United States with a Black actor or actress being the lead in a movie. You still have problems here, but we always want to put it overseas as if we solve this problem, okay? And it's the stupidest thing, because the MCU itself has a problem with this Black actors and actresses, and they have a long history. And I'm going to do a video about the recent rumor that the Blade project is suddenly a priority again, but they're going to sacrifice Don Cheadle's Armor Wars. It's like, really? Okay. But anyway, I just had to stop there because I'm so tired of the media trying to blame anti-Blackness in terms of leads in the MCU or in Star Wars films on overseas audience. If Black Panther dispelled that myth, then why did you just put it here in the article? But anyway, I digress. Article goes on to talks about his producing credits. He did Eternals, he did Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, of course, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He did 2014's Captain America: The Winter Soldier and 2016's Captain America: Civil War. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody mentioned that he was also involved with the Captain Marvel movie. And of course, you got the obligatory comment from Kevin Feige and Luis Desposito. Nate is a fantastic executive and colleague, as well as a wonderful friend to all of us here at Marvel Studios. He's been a core member of our team since 2010, and his influence will continue to reverberate in our storytelling. That's, okay, whatever. And it goes on to say he helped develop Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you have the obligatory quote from Moore. I'm not trying to be funny about it, but I worked in media, and particularly I worked in media at a school division, and I remember having to interview people who were leaving the school division. And it always came, particularly when it came to Black members of the staff, 2 things always happened. Before you roll the cameras, and the fact that they were looking at a Black person, a Black professional, they would always tell you how they really felt, okay? They would always tell me what they really felt, got it out of their system, and then smiled for the camera to talk about all the friends and all the wonderful opportunities that they had, and they were going on to better things, and they were going to miss the smiling kids' faces. Yeah, and that's why I'm acting like this. These obligatory propaganda exit quotes, talking about the wonderful time that they had, knowing that the reason that you're leaving is because you can't take the crap anymore. But anyway, I just wanted to read this. Nearly everything I know about producing, I've learned from my time at Marvel Studios, said Moore. I feel lucky to have worked with a group of people who love filmmaking and storytelling as much as my Marvel colleagues and the cast and crew of our films. but I couldn't be more excited to apply my experience and passion for films toward theatrical movies in all genres, including returning to the world of Wakanda for Black Panther 3. Like I said, it's one of those obligatory comments that somebody makes, particularly a person of color who's getting the hell out of Dodge because they cannot take it anymore. And I just have to say this before I get to the main thing that I want to talk about. They couldn't find a happier picture. I mean, this guy looks sad and tired. When I did my video about what they did to T'Challa, I found plenty of photos of Nate Moore smiling, but when you look at all these articles, they find the most depressing pictures of him. I think one of them showed him actually talking with Ryan Coogler. But even then, there are press photos of him standing with Ryan Coogler and smiling. They couldn't get any of these, you know? They just get all these sad pictures like this guy, he's fed up with it. And that's what I really want to talk about. I know a lot of us have a lot of ill will towards Nate Moore because we feel like he messed up Black Panther, which he did. But I just want to say that I also feel like Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler, to a certain extent, he was the scapegoat for all the bad decisions that Kevin Feige, Luis Desposito, and Victoria Alonso, the person they actually kicked out, they made. And I think that is the thing that weighed heavily on him, and he had enough of it after 14 years. And the reason I say this is, one, when Victoria Alonso behind was kicked out, it was finally told to everybody that she was the person who was a champion of these characters being mantles, that you can have different people come in and play these characters. Now, please notice how many times they've done this. They had Hawkeye hand off the mantle of Hawk to Kate Bishop. The only other two examples that I really know of is Anthony Mackie, and I've done plenty of videos talking about how he's a walking shell of a character, and the Black Panther. And it was only Nate Moore of all of the executive producers who walked around talking about that mantle crap, even though it was not his philosophy. It was Victoria Alonso, but he became the mouthpiece for it. Nobody else attached to Brave New World is walking around every other day talking about that it's a mantle that Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson is handling. It is always Nate Moore who's been the spokesperson for the bad decisions made by the people above him. And I believe that's why in that infamous, it only took us 5 minutes to decide to get rid of T'Challa meeting that he always kept emphasizing. But then one time came when he admitted that when we came to that meeting, recasting T'Challa wasn't even on the table, which meant, and I said it in the T'Challa video, that meant that decision was already made. So why were you meeting for 5 minutes? It's clear. Kevin Feige, Luis Desposito, or Victoria Alonso said, I give you 5 minutes to tell me what you're gonna do. And so what I'm saying is he went around taking the hit for that decision. He has been the scapegoat for all of their bad decisions. So at the end of the day, him leaving, in my opinion, is not gonna solve the problem. Yes, I know a lot of us want him and Ryan Coogler gone from the Black Panther franchise so we can finally get a breath of fresh air. But if the people making the decisions are still there, whoever they bring in, and it's going to be a black person, whoever they bring in is just going to do what they tell them to do anyway. And so at the end of the day, him leaving is not really a victory. I'm not saying I want him to stay, but him leaving is not going to change the underlying problem. The people that need to be changed, or the attitudes, are the ones above him. Nate, the scapegoat Moore, is leaving Marvel Studios, and whoever they bring in to replace him is just going to do the same thing. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe, and I will see you the next time.